Okay, doing another video on my Frankenpool. It's turning into a real project. And it kept squeaking a little bit, you know, and I'm like, it's not the belt. I got dual belts. It's not. Kind of thought it was the motor because I removed the belts. I turned the motor and it squeaked, right? So I go, it's got to be the bearing. So I disengaged the motor from the blower assembly, right? And remember, these are counterclockwise threaded. Okay, so there's instructions on it, but you got to read the fine print. To remove blower wheel, hold wheel and turn motor shaft clockwise. The reverse threads, because the motor's spinning this way into that blower wheel thread, which keeps it tight. So a lot of people get they try to go lefty-loosey and they wind up stripping out and breaking their blower wheel. Because what you hold, and this is what's sticking through. You can see I kind of beat mine up a little bit, but this is what will be sticking through this hole here on the back of this dryer. So the way this is set up, the blower wheel sits in here, okay, and the motor shaft will engage in the blower wheel, and then you thread it, you know, you get it threaded in. Of course, the assembly holds the blower wheel so it doesn't fall completely down inside there. So anyway, I assumed I needed a motor and went down to the shop, and the guys at the shop said, no, you don't need a motor. They said the problem is this assembly, the backside blower cover assembly squeaks. So if you look at this, there's seals on here. Of course, this is the inner assembly, let's call it, and this is the outer assembly. So the way this goes, this cover is where your hole is here for your lint trap, and this goes here. Okay, the problem you get, look at this. This just sits against a really crappy foam seal. So the foam winds up wearing out, and then you're going to get some squeaking. I can't get it to do it now, but it was doing it a minute ago. And then you get this rubbing against the housing here. So what you have to do is you have to take this back assembly off, this blower cover. You got to clean off the old seal off of here as best you can, and replace the seal here, and replace the seal on here. But I'm going to put the seal on the cover. I'm not going to put it on the inner cover. So go down to Home Depot and get yourself a marine grade seal. And what you want to do is you want to get this rubber. Well, I was going to do the marine grade, and I switched to the rubber seal. Here's why. See the profile on it? The marine grade profile was cut like this. You know, see? Didn't have that extra lip. I wanted that extra lip, so they're the same material. So remove your old seal, scrape it off with a scraper, and then what you want to do is, I took a Brillo pad and cleaned it, just a stainless steel Brillo pad to clean off the excess, and then I'm going to run the seal on here, around here, and then on the other piece, other assembly on the dryer, I'm going to run it on the outside of it, so it'll engage on the inside of this. Okay, but that lip will be facing inward. So see that lip there, that profile? That'll be facing outward when I put it on the inner assembly that'll engage in here. Okay, because I want that rubber lip to slide in here first, see? And then the contour will help seal. So if that makes sense. Makes sense? You got to think about what I'm saying for a minute. So you want this outer lip here. When you put on that seal on that other piece, you want that facing towards you, right? Okay. And then on this one, it doesn't really matter. On this one, I will probably have it facing the inside, so that shoulder on this contour, this shoulder will face inside. Okay. So I'm gonna get this done. The other suggestion, actually the suggestion from them, the repair guys, was to put a block of wood up underneath here to lift this up a little bit, to support this up when it's all mounted together. And I might do that if this rubber seal doesn't solve the problem, but I think it will solve the issue. So what they're saying is when this is all assembled, you got a little gap here, put a little piece of wood, wedge a piece of wood up under here to push this assembly up. And I think what that's doing is, all that's really doing is that's shoving the cover tighter against the assembly, right? And shoving this all up in here. So I think that's one way of solving it rather quickly, but I'd rather have a seal on here and have it sealed properly. I'm also going to seal this. I don't like the fact that the exhaust is leaky. It leaks air all the way around here, and dust and crap gets up in here. Of course, you're going to get some dust in here anyway from the dryer just leaking dust into it. And I'm going to insulate this, and I'm probably going to insulate, if I feel like it, I'm probably going to insulate, maybe, I just might. I think I might insulate the dryer drum. Because, we're losing a lot of heat drying these clothes through convection through the drum, right? I thought, well, gee, if you insulate the dryer drum, that'd retain more heat on the inside of the dryer. And the thinking, if you insulate this would keep more heat out of this dryer cavity, so this dryer cavity runs cooler, right? So insulate that, insulate the dryer drum, seal this well, and that'll make the dryer run hotter. Now, I hope that doesn't become an issue. Maybe I'll just have to, instead of put it on regular, I'll put it on permanent press, and then I can dry the clothes just as well in permanent press as if I had them on normal heat settings. So hopefully it doesn't throw the thing off in its cycles and its ability, or the sensor and its ability to dry the clothes. The idea is it would just be a hotter running dryer and dry the clothes faster. So that's my project. That's the problem with me. If I tear something apart, I got to improve it, right? I've got it apart. Let's see what else we can do. So, there you go. So, hopefully that helps some people out on squeaking dryers. If it's not the belt, which you can deduce by removing the belt, then you take your motor, and this is how you diagnose it. So you remove your belt. You turn your motor while it's still in contact with and this is all hooked up with a blower. Turn the motor if it still squeaks. Then you disconnect your motor, right? And then you turn the motor. If it doesn't squeak, then you have this problem I'm resolving, okay? If you turn the motor and it squeaks, it's probably your motor bearings, okay? And I don't know if these motor bearings are replaceable. I haven't tore into them. But my motor doesn't squeak when it's not engaged into the dryer, so... but I'm going to clean this up better now that I got it out. But, I don't know if these bearings are serviceable. So I might take a closer look when I clean this thing up better. And maybe the bearings can be oiled. I'm not sure. I got to get in here and take a look, see how they're held in there. All right, hopefully that helps somebody out. And there you go. All right, over and out.